Yo, what's up? Doug Cunnington here, the founder of Niche Site Project, and I have a course called Five Figure Niche Site. That's what this video is about. I'm getting together a little tea right now, some decaf green tea, since it's sort of later in the afternoon. I am just getting back from the gym. I think my wife should be getting home from work here shortly, and I wanted to sit down and talk about some of the stuff that is in Five Figure Niche Site. And Success Roller Coaster is on. What is up? You're just checking out some of my videos and now you happen to catch me live. Very cool. So what I'm gonna do is just answer any questions people may have. I know some folks have been asking about some of the details of like what's specifically in the course and that sort of thing. I'm gonna adjust my small tripod here just a bit. Ian is on. What's up? And if you have any specific questions about the course, let me know. I will talk about like the units and the stuff that's like in the course specifically. And we got postpartum, what up? Good to have you on as well. And I think just a little more tweaking and we should be good to go. All right. And I'm gonna keep this sort of brief. Like I said, my wife should be getting home in a few minutes and she'll probably walk in. It'll be a little noisier. We do our normal catch up. The end of the day. So, and Georgie is here at my feet. Quick, interesting note, just some of the stuff going on today. I live in Montana. We get a decent amount of snow and ice and stuff like that. What happens is the snow comes down. People generally clean their sidewalks, but it melts and turns into ice. It's kind of warm today. It's kind of sunny. And I was walking Georgie, my dog, at lunchtime, totally fell and just like landed. I didn't catch myself. I fell so quickly, but I wasn't going fast. Nothing weird was going on. And I landed on my palm and like the ice was so sharp, it actually cut my hand. So just a spill, first time I fell like that, where I like got minor injury. Luckily, I didn't try and catch myself or anything. I literally just fell straight down, kind of landed like on my like thigh, back, butt area, and then my hand. It didn't feel good though. It didn't feel good. Luckily, I didn't land on Georgie, although that maybe would have broken the fall a little bit. Okay, Five Figure Niche Site. I'm going to talk about it a little bit here. Basically, this is my premium course on creating and developing a Amazon affiliate niche site. The blinds are sort of moving in the background here, so I'm gonna make those stop in a second. Can you hear that? Can people hear the fluttering little noise there? So Five Figure Niche Site is my premium course on creating and developing an Amazon affiliate niche site. It goes through everything starting at the beginning. Okay, you can hear the noise. All right, I'm gonna just try and get this to not work. Okay, we have a question in, do I recommend the course for someone who is experienced? If so, why? Great question. Yes. In general, it depends, but many times people that already have a site, and Success Roller Coaster, do you already have a site or are you just experienced? So let me know and I'll tailor it a little bit more closely. Thing is, the course starts off basic, and I'll go through the details. The core basic set of units 0 through 7, take you from selecting a niche, or really mindset, selecting a niche, doing keyword research, competition analysis, setting up a site, so that's basic stuff. Content, like getting content written, hiring people, how to sort of format and work with, the content, publishing it, and that sort of thing. Applying to the Amazon Associates program, so like units 3 and 5, where like it's putting together the site, and applying to the program, you would already know that just in general. Unit 6 is around link building, Unit 7 is around scaling, Unit 8 So unit 8 through unit 12, unit 8 through unit 12, those are the advanced sections. So you only get those if you purchase the advanced package or the premium package. So unit 8 is advanced link building, gray hat link building. It's really sort of an overview, a survey of gray hat link building. And if I don't really encourage anyone to actively discourage gray hat link building due to the risks involved. But it's interesting to know that stuff, and you can learn things by combining ideas. So that's why I go over it. Unit 9 is interviews with successful niche site owners. Unit 10 is email list building for niche site. Unit 11 is other programs outside of the Amazon affiliate program. And Unit 12 is selling a site for 6 figures or more. And you can see by what I just described, it starts at the very beginning. If you're just learning about internet marketing, you could start at Unit 0. The interesting part is it gets very advanced very quickly. So at the end of 8 weeks, you're in very advanced territory. You're in a place where basically you can't implement that stuff well. You can't scale until you already have a site in place with traffic making money. Hey, Georgie. So the point is it gets advanced quickly. Now the interesting thing, success roller coaster, is if you have a site where you can implement the stuff you learn right away, most of the time those are the people that get the biggest benefit fast. The reason why, and if you're on the email list, you'll get an email tomorrow. People that already had sites increase their revenue. So those are the people that actually can make the biggest ROI, the fastest. And one of the interesting things, right? So you're experienced, you have a few sites, maybe you're making some money. A lot of times the foundational material in units 0 through 2 or 3, if you can refine some of the basic foundational knowledge that you have and update it and sort of modernize it, that is where you end up in a really, really good spot. So a couple things. So I think I answered your question, success roller coaster. For the people like Susan, it sucks for someone who wants to learn but doesn't have the money, so you'll stick with Alex for the time being. Here's the thing. Alex is really good on teaching the WordPress side of it, but he doesn't have as much experience as me on the affiliate side. He would happily admit that. It's not a dig against him. So my suggestion would be just study my free material. My free material is better than other courses out there. So if you can't afford 5-figure niche site, totally understand. It's a premium course. There's a few reasons why it's priced the way it is. One of them is the people that will purchase a course that's over $500 they're really serious about working on the material. And so a couple people are saying, when you're making more revenue, you can, get one-on-one coaching, or maybe you don't even need it, right? I didn't get courses until I was already making money, and they were very specific courses, or I got one-on-one coaching for very specific reasons, right? So depending on what you need, right, maybe you just stick to the free material. And let's see. Yeah, and that's what I would recommend to people. I actually had a person email me today, and they said, hey, you should change, right? I get advice all the time from people. Someone said, hey, I like your material. You seem nice, but it's too expensive. Why don't you have a plan that's $29 a month and so on? Here's the deal. I'd rather give you all the free information on YouTube, which you could go watch my hundreds of videos, learn tons of stuff, see progressions of how the methods are changing over time and stuff like that. And when I update templates or something, you could see that as I'm showing you videos. The thing is, I'd rather give you the free material on YouTube than charge $29. One of the reasons is by charging $29, it ends up being sort of a customer service nightmare for me. I'm trying to delicately put this, but sometimes, right, people, and I used to sell a product for $7. Actually, let me just give a specific example. I used to sell a product for $7. Someone would buy it for $7 and they would expect me to basically do one-on-one coaching with them ad nauseum. Not a good scenario for me from just ignore the money, from like a happiness standpoint. Someone is not respecting my time or material or whatever. The point being, I'd rather just give you a bunch of awesome stuff where you will think I'm a great resource than to charge $29 for it. So that's my stance there. I'd rather you just enjoy it, learn for free, tell your friends about me. Sometime in the future, maybe I could help you on a one-on-one basis, something like that. And Susan, Martin, totally respect your points. Thanks for the ongoing support. And Alwayne says, Doug, free method can help you to gain income so you can work with them in the future. That's a great idea. Yeah, totally. And this does indeed happen where, maybe like the course didn't work out, but people followed me otherwise. And then they got one-on-one coaching when they needed to. Let's say you're making a few $100 a month and you want to add more content. You need help writing a specific job post, working with a team, setting up specific things. Okay, and see a question here. Can I give an example of a micro niche website? The answer is no. I don't think a micro niche website is helpful for anything. The word micro niche sounds kind of like a bad idea to me. How much content do I normally need to post on vlogs to get some reasonable money? I don't know about vlogs. The sort of world of video is much different than the world of blogs. However, I want to help answer your question, and then I'm going to go over the units in which the 5-Figure Niche Site course covers. So thanks everyone for hopping on this quick live stream, by the way. So as far as micro blogs, micro niche sites, don't do that. It's kind of painting yourself in a corner. It's a dumb idea. Don't do it. What you really should ask, Levi, is you should look at my playlist for examples of Amazon affiliate sites. So don't ever think micro. That's small thinking. If you're more interested in small stuff, I think there's probably other channels, other content folks that you should follow. I'm not about doing small stuff. I'm not about doing things that are, I guess, what word am I looking for? Short-term thinking. I'm not doing any kind of short-term stuff here. Sorry, I had to get rid of the tea bag so I could enjoy my tea here. So basically, go check out the playlist on examples of Amazon affiliate sites. I think you'll find them helpful. You'll see examples. I tear them down. There's literally hours of that material. That's one of the first places I recommend you check out. Whoa, that's much hotter than I thought. Next, about how much content you need for a blog. I say launch with 10 pieces of content. This is against what most other people recommend. Launch with 10 pieces of content and then start promoting it immediately. This is a project management idea of working on a sprint. You get like the minimum viable site, 10 posts, 5 pieces of affiliate reviews, 5 pieces of informational, say how-to content, something like that. You go live with that. You start promoting it immediately. You start getting traffic. You get some small wins, and you have a piece of shippable, like finished product. Other Courses, other people tell you to, either launch with, 40 or 50 or 100 or 200 pieces of content. And the fact is, that's really hard to do. Even if you had unlimited resources, unlimited money to buy all the content and hire content managers, if you had unlimited money, that is not an easy task, right? If you have never worked with writers before, if you haven't built a team before, if you haven't been a manager for freelancers, it's a whole different world. And if you haven't been a manager at all, you're gonna struggle even with unlimited resources. So with these other courses telling you to publish so much content, it's just bad advice. And it's coming from people that have a big budget, and they're launching their 5th or 10th or 15th site, and if you're trying to tell someone how to launch their first site, this is bad advice. All right, I'm going to talk about, by the way, thanks folks for the likes and for reminding other people to like the video. I do appreciate that. So I have my iPad here, my old iPad Mini 2, and I'm just going to go over the units here so that people understand what's in the course. The sales page is admittedly and absurdly long, so I'm going to just kind of hit the high points here. So unit 0, there are 13 total units if you buy the complete course. Quick caveat, if you buy the basic package, it only has 8 units. So it's unit 0, starts at unit 0, which if you purchase, you get unit 0 right away. And then the other material is dripped out over the course of about 10 to 13 weeks or so. The reason I drip out the content is to encourage you to actually do the work. If you have all the material all at once, we can't help but binge watch this stuff and go through it. And what happens is you don't take action, you don't do the work. Worst case scenario, you look at it and you think, oh, I already knew how to do that. I heard that somewhere else, and I already know how to do keyword research. I don't need to go through the exercises here. The exercises, all the work, all the worksheets, that's the course. That is how you do it. You have to go through this stuff, even when you think, I already know how to do that. I already understand this information. All right, so unit 0 is setting the stage. This is mindset. We look at why we're even, using the Amazon Associate Program versus other affiliate programs, or maybe making your own products, or some other route. We talk about how much you can actually make with Amazon affiliate sites, and the dog is barking. All right, so I'm gonna migrate to a different room here since it'll be a little bit noisier. So that is unit 0, and it's really about setting the stage. Unit 1 goes into selecting your niche. So this is brainstorming, and Martin, sorry about the barking. It is, it's very exciting. That is the flaw with the home office here, and then I ended up somehow in the guest room. Not my choice. So I have the big light on here. Hopefully it's not too much of a glare. It is bright. So in unit 1, select your niche, and we go through generating ideas and brainstorming. We look at keywords, the keyword golden ratio, the right way to approach it. We look at the 4 types of keywords, and then we get into keyword research tools. Now, in a lot of ways, the tools don't matter much. It's really like the ideas and the way we're looking at this versus the specific tools that we're using. And, I don't put much weight in the tools. A lot of times when you see people recommend tools, they're recommending them because they're getting a kickback in the form of an affiliate commission, right? People ask me often to review their, tools and products, and the fact is, I like to be able to just speak freely without having incentives and stuff like that. That said, people ask, on the other side, the audience, you ask me about the tools, and I haven't used a lot of them, and I probably need to spend, a day or so using, KW Finder or, keyword.io and like a few of the other tools. I haven't used Longtail Pro in a long time, and really just break it down and, show you more. In the course, though, I just make one or two recommendations because I'm trying to simplify things. A lot of the course is removing the noise and giving you just the essentials. Unit 2 is around competition analysis, where we use my proprietary worksheet showing competition analysis, the methodology that I look at. And it doesn't give you like, the number, right? It doesn't give you like a ranking on what you should pick. But what you get, as I mentioned, the course and all the extra work and all the worksheets, that is what you need to be, getting out of it. So as you're working through and you're looking at the competition for various niches, you see in a relative sense what's more competitive, what's less competitive, in a variety of factors. In the worksheet, again, the proprietary worksheet helps you work through it. We look at setting up the site in Unit 3. Again, if you're experienced like Success Roller Coaster, if you already have sites up, that's, sort of arbitrary and no-brainer. And the thing to mention, if you already have a site and you're thinking like, well, Unit 1 and Unit 2 aren't helpful, you could always do more keyword research. And if you come up with other ideas during brainstorming, well, it's never bad to have, more ideas for niche sites you could launch in the future. Particularly if you already have a few sites, you may have the opportunity to expand an existing site through this deep, brainstorming process. The other part, Unit 4, creating and publishing content. We talk about the value of content, different myths around content, and the content profit traffic sprint here, which you could kind of see. And this is the idea of, agile project management and doing sprints of work. Really helpful. I mean, even if you don't like enroll in the course, if you can reverse engineer this concept of the sprint that I talk about, that's really valuable. Next, we look at the two kinds of content on your site. We look at product reviews and where to get content, such as images, how to do research, and that sort of thing. As we move on, Unit 5 is applying to the associate program. Unit 6 is around promotion, outreach, and link building. And we go over white hat, gray hat, black hat. We look at the very simple 3-step process for link building. And, there's a million things you can do with link building. Most people have trouble with it because you do have so many options. But when you look at just the core of what you need to do, it's much simpler. And if you focus on this simple process, you're able to get better at it, execute better, and actually get results. As we go through, Unit 7 is scaling up. Generally, I talk about why I favor expanding an existing site versus, looking to build like 8 different sites. I can tell you real quickly, there's a lot of overhead if you're building a lot of sites, and every time you start a new site, it's like one more thing you have to worry about. Where if you can expand your existing site, oftentimes it's an easier, sort of workload on your brain, and it's less stressful when it comes down to it. Unit 8, and this is getting into the advanced units. So units 8 through 12 are more advanced, and we go over advanced link building, gray hat style in Unit 8. Unit 9 is expert interviews. I talked to Eric Carell, Rob Atkinson, Dom Wells, Josh Shogren, and Dave Fox. And I also talked to Kevin Graham, who's been making the rounds here lately. Unit 10 is email list building for niche and authority sites. I talk about when you should and should not build an email list. I talk about how to get people to sign up with 2 specific techniques to, get them to willingly sign up for your email list and be happy to get your emails. I talk about what to send and how to use your email list to promote, traffic to your site. Unit 11 is on other affiliate programs. So there's tons of other affiliate programs. I talk about some of the main ones out there like ClickBank, ShareASale, how to approach and, basically add other affiliate programs to your site. And then, there's the issue where maybe there's a great product, but they don't have an affiliate, the company doesn't have an affiliate program for you to just use right away. So you have to figure out how to, make that work. So I'll give you some tips on contacting, negotiating, and convincing a company that is, not very interested in the, affiliate program. But if you have traffic, you have leverage, and I tell you how to approach that. Unit 12 is a 6-figure exit. I talk about selling my site, partner with Rob Atkinson for a site. We sold it for $235,000. I talk about the process. I talk about preparing and the things you should consider when you're selling a site. I talk about when you should not sell a site. So a lot of the things that I do mention in the course is when not to do something. So it seems like a good idea to sell a site if XYZ is happening, but it's really important to understand when not to. All right. Martin says, did any of my sites fail? Yeah, like a lot of them did. So it goes back to when I first started online, and the first few sites that I started, they were a flop. I did keyword research a little bit wrong. And then the other mistake that I made, and I probably caution people in the course on this, but the other mistake that I made, and I can migrate back to the other room. My wife took the dog out for the afternoon walk here. Of course, I'm dropping everything. So the big mistake that I made was around keyword research and not understanding, buyers' keywords and how to actually attract traffic that was going to be profitable at any point in time. So I was getting traffic to my site. I figured out how to do that, which is not an easy thing, but it just failed. The other thing that I did is, back 2013, I discovered passive or smart passive income, the podcast. I listened to, probably 50 episodes in about 3 weeks or so. And I started a blog. I bought a WordPress hosting package over at Bluehost, started a site. And of course, with the hosting, you often can put as many sites as you want on the same server. So I did that. Here's the big mistake that I made, Martin. Basically, I started too many sites. I had all these great niche ideas, so I thought, well, I better register the domains. I don't want people to get that domain, right? So I registered the domains, and then I'd publish maybe like 1 or 2 posts on like these 5 or 6 different sites. Eventually, I realized, well, I should just focus on one site because I don't have time to do all this writing. I'm kind of learning some stuff about keyword research. I'm kind of learning about publishing and WordPress and all that stuff. Very helpful in that experience point of view. However, the issue was really around like the amount of time that I had a full-time job. I was working like 40, 50 hours a week at the time. So it just wasn't going to work. So as far as your question, have I had stuff not work out? Yeah. Most stuff didn't work out. And then, after I figured out how to do stuff properly, right? I started another site with a friend, and we've had it in place for 2 to 3 years. And I'm trying to remember, is it 2 years or 3? Could be 3. So we partnered on it, and we ended up with a lot of traffic. We ended up with quite a lot of traffic. It was poorly monetized. So, the issue there was it was poorly monetized. And then the other issue, right? So we figured out how to get traffic. We knew how to do that. So has traffic, but it was poorly monetized because we didn't have good products to sell, right? So we got plenty of traffic and we weren't able to sell. We were able to build a good email list. So there are pieces of success in there. However, it basically breaks even because we don't have time to spend on it. So it is a side project for both myself and the partner. So even still, as we're neglecting it, there's still a sufficient amount of traffic. There's still a great email list. The email list is still growing, but it's not a priority. So, it may shift into a priority. We keep, pushing it. And, probably what's going to happen is I'm probably going to take over the whole thing, potentially, buy out my partner. He may just give it to me because it's a sunk cost at this point. So we may just, part ways. Someone could focus on it and take it from there. So that's the thing. A lot of times it's just a matter of adjusting. So Martin, my suggestion would be, figure out the areas in which, you made mistakes, figure out what went wrong, and then fix those in the future. That is what I did when I talked to, the people in Unit 9 for success stories. Every one of them, like the details may be different. Usually their first sites didn't work out. Usually they learned and tweaked over time. It is a contest of stamina, longevity, and being willing to look at, I did this sort of work over here, 2 or 3 things worked, 8 or 10 did not. When I start the new site, I'm not going to do those 8 or 10 things. I'm going to fix those 8 or 10 things. I'm going to do even more of the 2 or 3 things that worked, and things slowly improve over time. It's rare when someone hits a home run, their first time around. So any questions? I talked quickly. I tried to go over the units of the course, give people a heads up. There are 3 levels. If you find them all too expensive, if now's not the right time, whatever, keep checking out the free material on my YouTube channel and on the blog, Niche Site Project. All right. Abdullah says, you tried Upwork to hire a native writer, but you couldn't find one. Everyone was asking a high price, like $40 to $100 per 1,000 words. So there's a couple I usually pay, as for reference. I usually pay like $14 or $15 for 1,000 words. Native speaker, usually located in the US, sometimes Canada, sometimes the UK, but usually the US. You have a problem either with your job posting or the way people are, or the way you're finding people, I guess. So if you write the job posting in a certain way, it should attract the right people. For whatever reason, which I don't know what it is, right? I can't tell you, but you need to try like different types of job postings. That is quite expensive. Just in general, that is 4 to 10 cents a word, this kind of like premium levels. So if you want to get is there a guideline for that? It's in the course. If you look at the YouTube channel, you should be able to find like sample job postings. If you look at my videos, they're fairly straightforward. If you go to my blog, I know they're there. So if you go to Niche Site Project, or if you search Google for Niche Site Project and then hiring writers, you should find a few posts that talk about it. I literally give you my, job listings or whatever. But my suggestion is when you have trouble like this, so I can't answer your question directly without like looking at your post, Abdullah, but here's the deal, right? If you have trouble with something like this, I'm going to give you a mindset to solve problems. I can't solve your specific one with that question, with the amount of information you have given me, but you're putting up some job posting. You're getting bad results. You need to do something different. Go on the other end of the spectrum. I don't know what your job posting is like right now, but if it's vague and not specific, write one that is very specific and very detailed, and see what kind of writers you get. If you're asking for writers that are experts in a certain field, stop doing that. That's probably the issue. There's someone on like Facebook who attends a lot of these sort of sessions and asks a lot of questions on Facebook. They have all sorts of issues hiring people. They said they couldn't find people at the price points that I was talking about. It turns out they were trying to get medical like experts in medical areas to write, and that was their problem, right? I mean, if you're looking for an expert, then you're gonna have an issue. Okay, so Abdullah says you're looking for specific stuff, tech-related writers, so stop doing that. You don't need it. Basically, if you're looking for specialization, you're gonna have to pay for specialization. You need to think a little bit deeper, and you need to, like, if you're asking for specialized skills, you're gonna have to pay for them. So take that into account or get rid of that qualification. And not a new office. I'm sitting in the kitchen today. Great lighting. It's very bright and the sun is shining in here. And actually, it's nice to have the bookshelf. It looks a little more professional, but there's a stove back there too. So, all right. Yogi from Indonesia, what's up? First time you saw me live. Fantastic. Good to have you. You're welcome. You're saying thanks for the videos. Really appreciate it. Give them likes, ask questions and comments, and even if you don't ask a question, you could just say, hey Doug, great video. Yogi, any kind of comment or interaction with videos, that always helps. Okay. Volador says, you can't guarantee success. My question is, how much getting the course will increase your chances that you're first trying affiliate marketing? Okay. This is quite vague. It's a weird question to ask. I don't know. It's all up to you, right? I can give you the information, but it's all up to you for execution. This is all a lot of work. So there are other creators on YouTube who are, I don't know if they're practitioners or not. It seems like maybe they're not, but they talk about how easy stuff is. I'm telling you, this is not easy. This takes a long time. It takes a lot of work. It takes focus. No BS, right? So I'm telling you how it is. And I'm not, by the way, Volador, I'm not saying you think it's easy, but the point is, I don't know how much it increases your chances. I could throw out percentages. I could say it makes you 20% more likely or 120% more likely. It doesn't really matter. It is literally up to you. It is only up to you. The course, if you're having an issue, right, with all the material, all the information that you are picking up on, say, YouTube or blogs or podcasts or something else, if there's so much information that you're overwhelmed, the course will simplify and help you so much. The other aspect, I don't mention too much, but there's a private Facebook group, and everyone in there has the same level of commitment as you. They've paid the same price. They have been working on their sites. There are some people that have been in there for a year and a half. They have literally started a site from scratch. Now they're making money and they're in there. They understand you, right? So there's a community around it. The Facebook name, it doesn't matter. It's private. You can't get in there unless you're in the course. So you don't get in unless you're in the course, and that is why it's so valuable, because when we're in our normal lives or whatever, we're talking to our friends or our family, and they don't know what we're talking about, and they don't know about keyword research or the ideas that we're talking about. In the community, they all get it, and again, they have the same level of commitment as you, which is hard to find, right? We don't want people like casually who don't have skin in the game. I don't anyway. That is one of the reasons why I've joined 3 high-end courses at this point in my career, and basically one of the reasons I purchased some of these higher-end courses that are $3,000-$4,000 is because the other people that I will meet also paid $4,000 to be there, and they're very serious about what they're working on. They're not casually interested in the idea, and that's a good filter. It's a tough filter, but it's a good one. And So as we're going through, you like the flower in the bookshelf. Thank you. Appreciate that. And the Facebook group is totally private. So if you join the course, you'll get in. But if not, hopefully you won't see it. And then Vol- Volador says, thanks for the answer. You're welcome. So I think the course, in a lot of ways, the value is simplifying things. It tells you what's really effective. And then of course, the other big thing, aside from the content and the worksheets and, spending time doing the work and all the actual stuff that is required, is you get to ask me questions, right? So I have one person that helps out with email support, just a couple hours a week or so, and I answer all the emails too. She just helps me out so we could answer more quickly. And then, I read everything and then I'll come back and fill in, my own personal thoughts in addition to what she's already added in. All right, we've been on for a few minutes. We have a handful of folks on. Any other questions before we finish up here? And I'll probably do another live stream like this tomorrow, perhaps, different time of like this time of day. It's kind of interesting. Usually my live streams are in the morning when I'm a little bit more lively, but in the evening, different folks like Yogi can make it on, and just different people in general can make it on. And Mucusless Diet Center says, you didn't get a response to your inquiry. Barbie, you must be patient. I saw your email come through. I haven't had a chance to write back. Basically, it's a busy week for me and I have to manage my email appropriately. I will tell you, I was looking at some of your needs. I was formulating, the right approach. So I'll email you back before the end of the day here. Sorry on the delay. Email is a tough one. I usually deprioritize email, except for students. I usually tend to students quite closely. And then, once you sign up for coaching, you sort of have higher priority. But up until that point, I have to manage that. So sorry on the delay. I'll answer you back shortly. All right, cool. I think that's it, unless there are any more questions. I know there's a couple second delay here. And then we can get out of here. Cool. All right. Everyone have a good day. We'll see you next time. I do have a couple cool videos, teardowns for some affiliate sites, and there's like a series. So I published one yesterday. I'll probably publish 2 of them tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that, and should be interesting. People seem to really like the teardowns, and I'm getting faster, I don't pause so much. I'm cutting out some of the dead time in there. All right, I got a jet. I see Rodrigo popped on, but I got to go. So have a good one, and appreciate it, everybody that hopped on, and we'll see you next time.
stretching out my leg.